Fortunato coilover. What's up, junkies? Welcome to this week's upload. Last week you guys saw that we went to Ken Block meet and I put some new motor mounts on the 240 in hopes that it would fix my steering issue, and it did and it didn't in a way. So I went ahead off camera, I didn't really film it. I bought a stock KA manifold, got that on there, and now we don't have any more clearance issues with the steering column, which is great. I also went ahead and returned that mass airflow sensor that I had been saying I had suspicion of it being bad, even though it was brand new, and I was correct. It fixed the idle issue. The car runs great. There's no steering linkage issues anymore. So I went on a test drive yesterday and everything just went awesome. So I was so excited. My dad came out, he was checking out the car, and I was like, oh, check it out, Dad. Start up the car and just hear this horrendous noise. It literally sounded like I had rod knock. So I got pretty upset, not like, you know, freaking out or anything. I just felt very defeated. So I just walked away from it for the day. And I went and checked today, made sure that everything I put on there was solid. It was tight. The exhaust, the motor mounts, the starter, bell housing bolts, all that stuff. It's all tight because it just kind of sounded like something was rattling. And I found out it's the transmission. So I don't know exactly what's happening. I don't really want to drop the transmission in the garage here. I'm waiting to go work at the shop with Derek. But I have a sneaking suspicion that the trans is just already bad. We kind of already knew that going into this. It was cheap and it was old. It sat outside for a long time and it made weird noises when I was driving it, but I didn't think anything of it. I figured I'd be able to get at least a few drift events out of it, but it only took one drive with the car running good properly for it to just take a dump on me like that. I'll go ahead and show you guys real quick. I'm only going to start it for a little bit because it just, I don't want to make it worse, but it sounds horrible. Yeah, as you guys can hear that clank on startup, it's kind of like whining a little bit now, but just listen to it when I rev up. Yeah, I'm gonna shut it off. So I don't know what it is. There must be a cloud following me or something, because every time I fix something on this car, something else goes wrong. I'm not going to be too upset about it. I do have the transmission for the SR here, and the only difference between those is the bell housing, and I don't know what other differences there are, but I do know that you can bolt them up to a KA bell housing. So if I can't find one for a good price, I think I'm just going to go ahead and run the SR transmission in the KA for the time being, so I could just make it out to an event. I wish I could bring better news to you guys, but man, it just one thing after another with this thing. But once the transmission issue is resolved, I kind of need a new clutch anyway, because I did have some clutch slipping issues with this clutch. Also just some random one I found. So yeah, I'm hoping if I don't buy the transmission, I'll just buy a new clutch, because the old clutch for the SR was also slipping. So we're running low on resources here, but I'm gonna do my very best to get out to the next drift event, which isn't this weekend, thankfully. Hopefully I think it's next weekend. I'll double check on that, but we're just out here plugging away, trying to fix every single little issue before we get to the track. And I am, however, grateful that this didn't happen while I was at the track, because that would be a lot more devastating and could be a lot worse. So just hitting you guys with a quick update, and then I'll probably start recording once we get to the shop, or whatever the plan may be. One eternity later.
It's called straight time.
After the car basically falls off the trailer, we're here. We got D Diddles working on it, fixing all my mistakes.
And your incorrect bolt placements.
It worked, didn't it? Damn, even my gas tank's beat up, dog. What happened? I don't even know how that thing doesn't leak.
Well, you want to get a time reference to see how long it takes to get it?
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
There you go.
As soon as I...
317.
317 right now. Where's the other transmission? Is it still in the bucket of the tractor?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we'll get back to that if we need it.
Yeah.
I'm watching you.
Oh yeah, you need to watch yourself.
I'm watching you, Derek. I had Dave and them come help me. All right, we got the new clutch, John here. Even came with the alignment tool and a new, yeah, one of those, and a flywheel.
You got the old one removed right there.
Hopefully that's not what it's gonna look like, but I don't really know what to expect. It's gonna look a little sussy. Well, these just came right out. Did they break?
That's not good.
They're stripped.
The crank might be.
Oh my god. What about these four? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Nothing is tight about it.
Just this one. Dude, yeah, this is really bad.
They don't look too fucked up in there.
Let's hope not. Yeah, we're having a good time. Okay, so quick update. It's gonna take a little longer than expected because Derek found somebody that has OEM flywheel bolts that's willing to sell them to us, but we can't get them till 7 p.m. And so we have hours to kill. But we're hoping, I mean, it didn't really strip that bad in here. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad. But there's a lot of extra room. Those flywheel bolts were actually way too short and the threads just weren't even their correct size. So it's no surprise that that happened, but at least we're gonna get some a hand on some OEM ones, because if you don't know somebody that has them, then you have to order them from Nissan and it takes like 3 weeks to get here and you have to pay whatever ridiculous price they're asking. So we'll tune back in once we get the flywheel bolts around 7 or 8 p.m. We thought it was gonna be a quick night, but it's gonna be a long night. So, check the time, it's 7:28. Derek and I are having a beer, some chips, watching women's college basketball. That's about how our night's going. Alrighty now, it is 11:03 p.m. We're finally back home. We're at the shop. Gonna send some new flywheel bolts home.
Got cold pizza. Mountains are still blue. We're good.
It is
Shot the time.
12:53. We're getting done at 12:53 here. We got open drift tomorrow. D Diddle's got me set up for now. I'm gonna put as many miles as I can as possible.
You're gonna go home.
I'm gonna, yeah, that's a wrap. So, we'll be at open drift tomorrow. Well, this is what happens when you get a little too excited. You want to hit the roundabout and you just aren't used to the car yet. So We're not gonna make it to open drift tomorrow, sadly. Mainly, I'm thinking it's lower control arm and tie rod, possibly coilover. So, we'll get to open drift eventually. It's a really sad day. This is definitely not the end. I'll be out there soon. Just take it to the track, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be stupid like me. All right, we're back at the car next morning. Check the vehicle. Here's a better look at what's going on. It ain't too bad, but it ain't good. So yeah, we're just waiting for the tow truck. My car's been on a tow truck more this year than it has in the past 9 years. Okay, we got the 240 back in the garage safely, and we're gonna do official damage report here. Just kind of all the parts I expected to be broken when I saw it. But once again, we have snapped our Fortunato coilover right at the strut. Same spot as last time. I actually had them rebuilt and sent back, but here I am busting it again. And we broke this suspension arm here. I forget what it's called right now. And then obviously we got the lower control arm that's very bent. Surprisingly enough, I think my tie rod's okay. Like, I literally think it's fine. If not, it's just a Nissan Maxima tie rod. For anyone who isn't familiar, I have the Villains angle kit from quite a long time ago. They actually use OEM Nissan Maxima tie rods for it, which is really nice because not only are they cheap, but they're readily available at like any parts store. They're just a little bit longer than S13 ones and they bolt right up. And then that's actually just a stock S13 lower control arm that's extended. So if you come over here, my parts pile, I actually have a set of front coilovers from the last time I did this. And then I have a few extra LCAs. I just need to have someone extend it for me. But I don't want to run those front coilovers again because they're from actually like the early 2000s. So they're a little rough, not ideal, but it'll get the car rolling again and I can drift it. But I think I'm going to upgrade to some BC coilovers whenever I have the funds and the means to do that. This is just a good excuse to get it done because these coilovers are like 6 years old. And I was already thinking about replacing them, but now I really have to. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's upload. And don't forget, it helps the channel out a lot. Like, comment, sub, obviously all those good things. And yeah, I hope to have better news for the next episode, and I appreciate everyone who's watching and supporting. You motivate me to keep pushing these videos out. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.